Who would have thought? We're here talking about Drake again and his new album, presumably his collab tape with PARTYNEXTDOOR that he's been also teasing more at over the past couple of weeks since we've last talked about him, but also because one of the people closest to him just posted something that Drake then responded to. We're going to talk about all of it today, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So we know that Drake is in the process of dropping something. We know he needs to drop something. We've talked about the importance of this next record multiple times after the beef with Kendrick and after Kendrick went on such a run with GNX and the Super Bowl and his tour now coming up, the stadium tour, that Drake really needs to do something. And so far his responses by, for example, dropping the 100gigs.org, No Face and the Like songs, or also his Fighting Irish freestyle that we went over in the last video on him, haven't been really convincing. But now it seems like something is coming up that might be more of the stuff that we've been looking at. So let's jump straight into what happened. So OVO Noel, so Drake's engineer, we've heard him referenced a lot on his music. His real name is Noel Cadastre. I believe I pronounced that correctly. We never hear his real full name. It's only OVO Noel. So that's how we know him. He posted something on Instagram, and you might have seen this, but we've seen a picture of him working on some music behind the scenes with this Furman device right here. And Drake commented on this post. And this post was completely unrelated to anything. It was just Noel posting this, just seemingly, like, oh, look at these big technical devices I'm working with. I don't know, man. And he posted an emoji with it. And Drake commented on that post, drop the album. And this, of course, led people to think about, okay, is Drake talking about his own album? Is Drake talking about the fact that maybe the album is finished, it's recorded, it's just needing to be engineered? So he's urging Noel to be like, finish the album, we need to drop it. Now, we had a reply from Noel that has since gotten deleted. At least I can't find it anymore in the replies to Drake's comment, but people have screenshotted this right when it happened, where Noel actually replied to Drake 2 hours after he posted that. So maybe it was a little bit too late. He said, I'll drop if you drop, fam. So this kind of insinuates that this is not Drake's album, that this might be Noel's album or an album that Noel is working on, and that he will drop when Drake drops his album. So either way, they're kind of hinting at new music. I do believe, though, this would be talking about Drake's new album. I just can't see how the two of them would go back and forth like that and it not being about Drake's next record. When Drake knows, when he publicly comments under a post like that, he knows that people will start thinking about his album and his next move. So I just don't think that this is about some random Noel album. Now, obviously, Drake's next album would likely be his collab tape with PARTYNEXTDOOR. He teased that, like, I don't know, at this point in almost a year ago. This was right around the time when Summer Vibes Up Next was coming out, and we thought that Drake would be dropping an album in the summer of 2024, which obviously didn't happen. And Drake also referenced that on Fighting Irish when he said he missed the summer. Well, we talked about that in the last video. He could mean this in two possible ways, that kind of like he took shots at somebody over the summer, or that he missed the summer. He missed the opportunity to drop his next album, and he kind of realizes that. And that would also be at least good that he realizes that, and that he realizes that he would need to drop a new album. But this P&D tape actually got more teased at since we last talked about it, because obviously we've had this clip at this one live show where he said that P&D and him would have an album coming out, but then he also started posting these Instagram stories. For example, one where he just had these $3 signs and he just tagged PARTYNEXTDOOR. And at first, this doesn't seem like anything big. It's just really random. Why would he do this and tag P&D? But then it continued. He posted this picture right here only 4 days ago with him in the studio, and he captioned this, "I thought this through." So people are already like, okay, he thought this through with new album, whatever. But in the caption, before saying "I thought this through," he also has 3 $ emojis or 3 money bag emojis. And then also, if you click on the next picture on the slide, you can see he has a chain with 3 $ and his nails painted with 3 $. So there might be something connecting this P&D record to this concept of 3 $. I have no idea what it could be. You know, tell me if you have any idea what those 3 $ could be about, because honestly, I don't know, but it looks like that is what this next album could be. 3 $ by Drake and PARTYNEXTDOOR. I have no idea. Now, we need to also kind of think about when this album could be dropping. We have some speculations going around of this thing still dropping this month, which honestly I can't see happening right now, even though maybe that subtle comment was a good sign. But you need to also consider that we have the Super Bowl coming up. We also then have Kendrick's tour coming up. And also, you also need to consider we have the Anita Maxwin tour, which is the tour that Drake is going on to Australia and New Zealand, which is great because he hasn't been there in a while. But if you take a look at the tour dates, you can see that it starts on February 9th. So the day that the Super Bowl actually is, which is also kind of ironic, also considering that Kendrick planned his tour to just completely encompass the entire date, spanning from the day that Drake dropped Push-Ups to the day before the pop-out show. That is also pretty interesting. I think we'll talk about that more when we get closer to Kendrick's Super Bowl performance and the new album, the deluxe, whatever, and the tour then eventually. But Drake starting on February 9th and running all the way through March 1st. So about 3 weeks, and in between that, he has Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and Auckland. I mean, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, this is a great opportunity for you, so make sure you make use of that. But this would mean he either drops before February 9th, which would then also mean he would drop before the Super Bowl, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I've seen some people talk about this online as well, because Kendrick would probably like to be hyped up as much as possible before the Super Bowl. And if Drake drops anything before that and everybody's just talking about Kendrick, then his album would just kind of, you know, flow below the radar. And that would then obviously go against everything he would have, you know, to do. So I think likely this Drake and P&D tape will come after his tour, the Anita Maxwin tour in Australia and New Zealand, so coming in March or April or May. I mean, any of those, but not before March is at least what I'm thinking, looking at the timeline of events that is now leading up to the tour that Drake is doing in only less than a month. So we really don't have a lot of time left if he was to drop before that. So that's kind of the status right now when it comes to this new Drake and P&D tape. 3 $, I don't know, man, what that could be. And he's going on tour, and he likely drop after that. And also, obviously, that Noel post was pretty suspicious. But I do want to know what y'all think about this. Do you think that that Noel post could mean anything? Do you think that the album is called 3 $? And when do you think it could be dropping? Before his Anita Maxwin tour or after? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.